Hey, what's going on, guys, and welcome back to another video. It's your girl, Naiah Nikole. In today's topic, we're going to be talking about how to get someone to open up about their sexuality. We all want honesty, right? We all want our partners to tell us everything and to open up about their sexuality, especially if you're dating a trans woman. So how do you get someone to open up? If you're ready to handle the truth, which probably 85% of you guys are not ready for it, but if you are, I have 5 quick tips to teach you guys how to get someone to open up. Let's first talk about you. Are you comfortable with your sexuality? Are you? Because most people are not comfortable with their sexuality. I know that I haven't been always honest with my sexuality with people because, I've never had this safe space to talk about it, and a whole list of reasons as well that we're not even going to begin to mention. Do you know you? I mean, do you really know you? Are you comfortable with your sexuality? So there's this beautiful woman walking down the street and you feel instantly attracted, and then you find out that she's transgender. Are you still attracted, or are you gonna push those feelings out to the side and say, oh, I was confused? Or what kind of feelings would you have? I really wanna know what your answer would be to that, because most men in today's society, I feel like they would backpedal and say, oh, I thought it was someone I knew, or make up who knows what kind of excuses. If you're not comfortable with your sexuality, I don't think you should expect anyone to be open with you. Find out, explore. There's so much to learn out there, and it doesn't have to be with opposite genders or any of that at all. It's just sexuality in itself. I think somebody who's not comfortable with their sexuality has a lot of shame, and it's very unfortunate. But I mean, if you have shame, then how could you even input into what somebody's about to open up with you about? If you're comfortable, people will be comfortable around you. So that's tip number 1. Now that we got that out of the way, tip number 2 is overcome the fear of being judged. I mean, who gives a damn of what anybody thinks about you and what you like and what you want to do with your life? I mean, if you're that concerned, then you have issues, I think. I mean, come on. We live in a society where everybody is so concerned on social media about looking this way or what people might think about them, portraying themselves to be one thing and then another thing, and in reality, they're not even comfortable with themselves. So tip number 2 is just overcome your fear of being judged. Here is an interesting fact. Did you know that 85% of most uncomfortable topic conversations in relationships are brought up by women? We're not afraid to talk about anything. I feel like we want to talk, we want to share. And guys, I think, get a little intimidated about that. One really good way to overcome your fear is to start being comfortable with talking about it. Let's move on to tip number 3. Tip number 3 is to create a safe space. So now we're talking about both individuals here. Part of creating a safe space is to have a no judgment zone. No judgment zone. What is a non-judgment zone? It's exactly what it sounds like. It is a place. It is a moment where you give the other person or each other a time and a place to be able to share anything and everything without the fear of being judged. Now, like I said, most of you guys are not ready for the truth. So that's when it comes in, is once you create the safe space, you actually have to hold your balls in your hand, as I would say. And the moment that they see judgment, the moment that they feel judged, it is out the window. The trust is out the window. They are not going to share anymore with you. What you gotta do is create that safe space. And here is some really good ways to create that space, is play a fun game. There's a new game that I've discovered, and it's called Privacy. I'm telling you, this game, you will learn more about people you know, friends, partners, than you probably want to know. You guys should check it out. It's a great way to get to know people, but you guys are in a safe space where you can answer these questions, and it might work for you. There's also other games that you can play where it'll help ease the personal asking the questions. You know what I mean? Like, you're not creating the questions, but instead you're like playing this fun game, and you could be like, oh, I don't want to answer that right now, or whatever it is. You can also watch a fun show. There's a show on Netflix that is going on right now. At the time of this video, I mean, I hope it's still popping. The show is called How to Build a Sex Room. And me and my partner have been watching it, and honestly, it's been opening up our relationship and talking about like, ooh, would you do this? Ooh, would you do that? And I feel like in us watching the show together, it's opened up our relationship and our line of communication to be able to share more. And it's because we felt safe. So that's part of creating that safe space. This one here is a little cringy, but it's also a great way to, create that safe space is go to a sex shop. Yeah, I said it. I know, sex shops, a lot of people look at them like cringy and dirty, but I'm telling you, if you go to the sex shop just to go look at stuff, don't go with a plan of getting anything but I mean, if you find something that you both like, it might open you up to start talking about your sexuality more and what you like, what you don't like, and that's a great way. So create a fun space, tip number 3. Now we're at tip number 4. Sharing. Am I the only one that has noticed that anytime you share anything with anybody, they start sharing stuff back with you? You could be like, oh my God, me and my boyfriend fight about this. And then next thing you know, your group of friends like, oh my God, me and my boyfriend too. Oh my God, my friend. And I heard, and everyone starts sharing. The best way to get someone to start sharing with you is for you to start sharing first. Be comfortable in sharing some of the most vulnerable things that you might feel scared to be judged about, and create that safe space to feel like, oh, they shared that with me, maybe I can share something with them. What you don't want to do is ever create labels. Don't use labels for anything. For example, let's say you want to do some strap-on fun. Let's just say that's something that you like. Don't say, do you want to get effed in the ass? By creating labels sometimes, if you say things like that, it might push someone back from wanting to share because now they feel judged. So don't use labels like, oh, you want to be a bottom. Or don't even use things like, oh my God, that's so gay, ever in any type of conversation, because it might push somebody like into a corner of not wanting to share. Try to avoid using a lot of labels. This is one of the situations where labels are very, very bad. While talking about things, you also want to go ahead and ask open-ended questions. You don't want to go ahead and ask yes or no questions like, oh, do you like this? You want to go ahead and ask a more intricate question. That way it gets them to start opening up. The moment they start opening up, be the best listener that you have ever been in your entire life. Because this is the moment where they will feel open to start talking, and if you start putting in your input, they will start shutting down. As soon as they start opening up, make sure to shut your mouth and listen. Become the best listener. All right, so here is tip number 5, time. Give them time. If you've already done tip 1 through 4, make sure that you just give them time. Maybe all they need is some time to start trusting and opening up little by little. That time is of the essence, and time will be your best friend. And I promise you, if you do 1 through 4, they're going to open up eventually. One of the last things to do with giving them time is treat them like your friend. When you approach the situation and you talk to them about sexual or sexuality stuff, you make sure that you talk to them like you would ask your best friend. Don't treat them like anyone different. If a friend was going to tell you something that's a little controversial, you're not gonna be like, you're probably just gonna sit there and listen for the tea, listen for the gossip, but definitely treat them like a friend. Be pretty open, and time is your best friend. Overall, here is my outlook. If you're wondering why any of this is even important, or why you even want to get your partner to be open about their sexuality, is because, believe it or not, if you don't open up to your partner, or your partner does not open up to you, you will actually start building a gap in between you two, and it'll also start forming resentment, because there'll be a lot of things that will eventually start coming into the bedroom. They might not want to feel comfortable doing or sharing certain things with you because they might feel judged. It's extremely important that you do know how to get them to open up. I really hope that you guys loved this video, you guys have learned something, and that you take some of this information into your relationships, whether it's your friends or it's your partner, your husband, your wife, your lover. Let me know in the comments if there's anything that maybe I might have missed in this video that could give me a tip on how to get people to open up. But I'm telling you, people always open up to me. But maybe it's because I'm super comfortable with my sexuality and I'm always talking about crazy things. So people are like, oh, she's sharing, I'm sharing. Give me a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and turn on your notifications so you can go ahead and get notified when my next video is up. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Thank you.